Well, there's something that might have flown under the radar because there's so much chaos going on in the world. But recently, it's been a couple weeks ago, President Trump cut back on funding for after school programs and mental health care for our most vulnerable students, right? Millions of kids just lost their mental health worker or after school program. And I'm going to let Chris Murphy tell you all about that because he's got the scoop. Listen to this.
I want to tell you about one of the cruelest, most thoughtless, dumbest things Donald Trump has done in the last week that has flown under the radar screen. Donald Trump announced that he is going to cut off grants for school mental health clinics and community anti-gun violence groups that were part of the bipartisan gun bill we passed in 2022. You remember that bill? First time in 30 years that Republicans and Democrats came together to make changes in our gun laws. But that bill also put billions of dollars into building support services around at-risk kids.
Remember when there's a school shooting and everybody's like, well, guns don't kill people, people do. And they always want to put these things over on the, mental health. It's mental health, it's mental illness, and it starts at home. But parents aren't equipped to treat mental illness. And that's why we need mental help for people, right?
Both in schools and in our communities. That money was awarded by President Biden. Many of those programs in our schools and our communities got grants for 5 years. Donald Trump just announced that he is going to cut off all of those grant programs illegally. The president can't do that. This is money that was appropriated and authorized by Congress. But the impact is going to be devastating. For instance, these schools have hired clinicians, mental health professionals, social workers who are right now working with at-risk kids.
They're currently having these professionals come in and work with these kids, right? These kids need help. And he's just going to take that away. He's going to try to take it away. He does a lot of things that he does not have the power to do. And then you have to have a court step in, or you have to have Congress step in. You have to have somebody step in and say, no, you can't do that. But in the meantime, he's continually doing these things that upset us as human beings. Do you not get upset when you hear that some program you depend on is about to be upended? And the reason they're doing this, DEI, and God forbid, there are trans students that are being helped through these programs.
And someday soon, those kids are going to show up at their school, and those professionals, those adults that they've built relationships with, are going to be gone. This is illegal. The president cannot do this, but it is immoral as well. And why is he doing it? He is doing it simply because some 22-year-old has been told to scour any and all grant programs that help people, cancel as many contracts as they can find, even if they are helping at-risk kids in our middle schools and high schools, in order to fund a giant tax cut for the super wealthy. That's what this is all about. Hurting kids, making our communities less safe, in order for Trump's billionaire backers to get another $100,000 tax cut. I'm angry about it, and everybody in this country should be angry about the way in which Donald Trump is purposefully hurting our kids, making violence more likely in our schools, just so that his Mar-a-Lago buddies can get a bigger tax break.
Wow. Thanks, Chris Murphy, for that. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Trump doesn't have anything. He's like filed bankruptcy all these times. He ran for president, I think, to stay out of prison, right? He got pardoned. He got like immunity. And now all he's doing, like Chris just said, he is trying to take money from these programs to give little bits of money to billionaires. For what? How many houses do they need? How many fancy cars do they need? How many, things do they need to own? And how many I mean, how many people do they need to wait on them hand and foot? I mean, they have so much money, they don't need a tax break. You're taking money from families who have children who have maybe they don't have a mental illness, but they might have problems. Didn't we all have problems in school? Wouldn't it have helped if you had had a place to go? We didn't have that when I was in school. I'm an old person over here, but wouldn't it have helped you? And why does MAGA, and you're listening, I know some of you MAGAs are listening, why do you think it's okay to take money out of these programs that Congress approved for our schools to try to get, stop these school shootings? Like, we're not supposed to say that on YouTube, but I don't know. You're not supposed to say shooting or killed or anything like that. But the school shootings, they're always saying is done by somebody who's, mentally ill, that it has nothing to do with the gun. But if they didn't have the gun, they wouldn't have been able to do it. So, but you're going to take funds away from these people. Y'all, we've got to stop this. We've got to band together and figure out a way to get something changed. We've got midterm elections coming up. We've got to make sure we vote for those. We've got to make sure that we stand behind our progressive, liberal, Democrat, independent. I mean, even if a Republican came out and they weren't a MAGA and they had the right ideas, it's possible we could vote for them as well. But these people that are MAGA, that are after everything because of the trans, again, I said this the other day, you could fit the trans all in one hand if you're comparing it to all the people in the world. I hope y'all have a great day, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.